All right, we should be live. We'll give it just a minute, let you guys say hello and let me know that you're here and watching, and then we will go ahead and get started. We've had some issues in the past, and I hate to talk to myself, so we're gonna make sure we're good to go first. Okay, let's see. Just waiting for someone. There is a little bit of a lag, so we want to make sure that everyone can see us. Follow the link. Okay. Oh, I should have put in a different email for you guys. But you all should be able to get on. There shouldn't be a problem there. So, okay. Waiting. Okay. We are good to go. Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and do an introduction. We'll get started. And yeah, I'll let everybody know that we're here. Actually, I only see a couple people on. Let me send out a message really fast. Sorry about this. Okay. Just say on Facebook, we're live. Come watch us. Okay. All right, let's do an introduction of Mark here, and we'll go ahead and get started. And I think this is going to be a really great training. I love this project today. It's just really trendy and really, just right on for the season and for the style that's current right now. So I love it. Mark, let's go ahead and just tell me about you. How did you get started into cake? And okay, first of all, let's have you say your name, Mark. Hard to pronounce.
So the last name is Desgroseilliers. I will not get offended if anybody meets me live and bashes it up completely. I've heard every pronunciation of it that you can imagine. I was telling Amelia before we went live, my wife wouldn't even take my last name. It's a law here that you have to pay to change it anyway, but when you read letters compared to like 18, it was a no-brainer. So how did I get started in cake decorating? Basically, years ago, we were sitting around watching Food Network Challenge, and my buddy James and Marina, they were on competing against each other, I believe. And I looked at my wife and was like, it's pretty cool. It looks kind of easy. I think I can do it. And so she went to the bookstore and she picked up the Wilton yearbook. And it was one that had like a 3-tiered cake on top that was made to look like it was all different layers of a birthday cake with wonky candles. And she goes, try it for my birthday. So I just looked inside, found the recipe for making your own fondant, made the cake, and when I brought it out, it went from looking like this to being almost like a 45-degree angle.
Oh no!
And from there, I just went and registered for pastry school, started learning, thank God, through the internet, and I started developing an interest in sugar flowers and took a couple of classes with Robin Israel and Jennifer Dawn, and that's just where my passion took me. And now here I am 10 years later, making my own cutters, teaching sugar flowers, and it's been a ride. I love it.
Awesome. That is so wonderful. I think a lot of us have started because of that Food Network era, you know, of the greats, you know, James and Marina, and you know all the others that came through. So many of them too that were just so
I
talented
know
and
it's
just
been,
blew our minds.
yeah, definitely. I owe a lot to the greats like James, Marina, Josh, and I mean now I'm messaging them on Facebook and just saying, hey, what's up? I just got back from Cape Carnival at the beginning of November, and it's a phenomenal class. It's more of an event actually. It happens every other year in Kitchener, and it's 6 instructors, 3 days of learning. And one of the techniques that Josh taught us actually inspired a technique that I used on this year's Christmas cake
Oh,
with
cool.
hand painting. And yeah, so when I showed him the picture online, I got a whoop whoop from him, and I was like, oh, you know, one of your
Yay.
mentors is telling you you're doing something great. It's a good feeling.
That is a wonderful feeling. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Well, congratulations on the successes that you've had, and you know, just so let's talk about some of the successes that you've had. I know that you've been featured in some places and that you've traveled quite a bit. So how about talking about just you know the cool things that you've been able to do?
That's what's great about the internet in this industry is you get to meet a whole bunch of people. Uh, a lot of doors to me, and I'm very grateful for the doors that it has opened. I've been featured in Edible Artists Network magazine twice. I've also done a lot of tutorials for the Marvelous Molds website with a couple more that I have planned that I have to send them. And teaching just not just here in Canada and locally. I've been able to travel and teach in Las Vegas. I was at Cake Fair in Orlando. Next year I'm going to be at Cake Fest, Louisiana, the NCAS show in Fairfax, Virginia, and we're talking about going back to Vegas, California, and just traveling. It's been really, really great. It sucks that I work a full-time job and still do this, simply because your 4 weeks vacation is now vacation, and I use it to travel and teach, but it's well worth it. I love meeting my students. I love sharing the art of sugar. That's like the best feeling on earth is when you're side by side, you're teaching somebody, and they have that aha moment, and that light turns on, and you know that they got it. And then to see the projects that come back afterwards, it's just been really, really awesome.
Awesome. That is amazing. I absolutely love teaching. I think that there are types of people and we tend to be that, you know, type of a person that we really
Yeah.
enjoy watching people learn and watching people succeed. And I, you know, there's something really cool about that. So,
Oh, that's exactly. I mean, and it translates to my real job too. Cake is my real job, but to my day job, the job that pays the bills right now.
uh-huh.
Um, I work for a customs broker, and there's a lot of new programs coming through Canada Customs and changes to our systems that are needed. And so that's one thing I said. I report directly to the VP of the company, and I told her, you know, if you could create a position that took me out of production and just allowed me to be the company's trainer all day long, I'd be happy. I would never leave. And so from that, anytime someone's hot, it's me who rolls it out, which is awesome.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to have stuff like that you enjoy doing, and I think that I don't know. I can see that in you. I can see that you're definitely a you know a caring person that wants to you know
Oh,
do the best by people. So it's very cool.
well, it's important. I like to treat people the way I want to be treated. So
It's great. All right, so we have. I know that probably most of you have heard about our tutorial network that we just launched. It's been kind of a you know big deal lately, and it's been a lot of work, but it's paying off. So, and I think that it's a wonderful thing for everybody all the way around. And so, just to introduce it to you all, the CakeFu website has a marketplace, and on this marketplace we have a spot for tutorials. And I have gathered up a bunch of tutorial creators that have had products out there that that are, you know, doing their best to make it in this community. And I have gathered them and put them all in one place. And so I think that being able to have everybody's tutorials all in one place, giving customers the chance to come in and find what they want to find, and really see what's out there, because sometimes it's hard to go out there and find, you know, what it is that you're looking for. And you know, I want to be able to be the resource on CakeFu where you can come and find all of those people that are so talented and have so much great information out there, and just need a way to be found a little bit better. So that's basically the whole idea behind this network. And Mark is one of the first, and I'm so excited that we have some of his tutorials up here now, and for you guys to be able to come on and purchase and watch and learn. He's very good at sugar flowers, and that's been, you know, I guess you talked about James Russell. I guess he was your inspiration a bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, just really great and talented at these sugar flowers. He has really great videos, very detailed, and gives a lot of good information. So I definitely recommend these videos. We are actually doing a sale today on the newest release, and it's releasing like this minute. So
Nothing like live.
I know, right? So yeah, we have this really awesome tutorial. It is the Sugar Flower series Poinsettia.
Yeah.
Poinsettia. I know, I come from Utah, and we're really, we say things wrong all the time. I think that most people in Utah just call it a poinsettia. So, but a poinsettia, I think, is the correct way to say it. I don't know. Potato, potato.
And I had so many issues when I was filming this. I had to keep redoing scenes because I'm sure I was saying it wrong. So it was one of the harder ones to actually get done. But it's one of my favorite flowers to do.
Well, I'm glad that you've done it, because it's one of my favorite flowers. So, and at Christmas time, I mean, who doesn't want a cake with a poinsettia on it? You know, they're just gorgeous.
They are. Our offices actually they go to Costco and they buy the huge plants of poinsettias. So December 1st is the day that the office decorates, and they were bringing them in like one pot after the other, and I sat one on the filing cabinet right in front of my desk. And the first thing I did is get up there with my cell phone, and I'm like taking pictures, and I'm like, oh wait, that center is wicked. I've never done my centers that way. And so I've changed the center up for the tutorial that we launched on CakeFu. That it's never been taught anywhere before. I've never taught it that way of doing it. So.
Oh, nice. Well, I feel special now.
It's striving for realism. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, and you know what? That's great. That is wonderful. So we love to have the new and the never been seen before tutorials, of course. I mean, obviously. So, and this is one of those. You're not going to find this anywhere else, at least right now. So you may find it on Mark's website in the near future. I don't know.
No, everything's going to stay exclusive to CakeFu.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That's awesome.
It's easier to have it all in one place for everybody. And
perfect. Well, I'm going to put up a link here really fast for you guys so that you guys can all see it. And we will go ahead and show you guys how to access this. It is, let's see, cakefu.com/market/tutorials/sugar flower series poinsettia. It's a long link. So we're going to actually make a short link for you so that you have an easier way to access this. Let me pull that up really fast for you, and I'll make a nice usable link for you guys, because I don't know, I like to do that because it's it makes things easier for you.
Easier is always better.
Yes. Yep.
I tell everybody in class, I'm a man, I'm lazy, I'm the first guy to admit it. If there's a shortcut or something easier, I'm going to find it and I'm going to show you guys, because time is money, right?
Right, right. And that's priceless. And I think that's the best thing about these tutorials and things that, a lot of times you can probably figure something out on your own, but why? If it's out
Exactly.
there and it's already done, why make all of the mistakes? Why have to go through all the trial and error? Just, learn from someone else's mistakes and their tips and
Yeah.
their genius minds. I have learned so much from other people that um, I don't know. There's just, yeah.
There's so much out there, and that's the great thing. I was, like I said, at Cake Carnival, and I was taking the class, and people in my group were saying to me, well, why are you taking the class? You teach. Like, and we were in James and Lindsay Sinatra's class actually that day, and it's sugar flowers, it's James, you're gonna have flowers, right? And they're like, well, you do flowers. I'm like, it doesn't matter that I do flowers, there's always something to learn. And sure enough, I learned a few techniques from them, and it's something I can take back and apply to my own work now. So never stop learning. That's the important thing.
It is so true. If you feel like you've stopped learning, or if you feel like you're done learning, that you don't have anything else to learn, you're falling behind. You really, I mean, seriously are. There was a time when I did the same. I actually had gotten to a point where I was winning these national awards and everything, and I thought, I've made it. I don't have to learn from anybody else anymore. And then I started seeing that really I was not, I was falling behind everybody else. And so, yeah, it's definitely, you definitely have to keep up with everything. So.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a great thing. Like, nothing beats live class. I'll never, ever deny that. Live class is better. You have that one-on-one interaction. You can ask questions on the fly and get that assistance. But tutorials and online classes are the way to go if you can't be in a live class. So CakeFu Marketplace is the place to get that.
That's right. That's right. All right. So our link is, it's giving me fits for really fast here. But it will be cakefu.com/poinsettia. That's it. So that's all you need to be able to get through to this link. It's, I think.
And it's on sale today, right?
It is on sale, $9.99. So I mean, it's half of the price, right? It's 50% off. 50% off. So that is like huge.
That's massive. If I teach that class, guys, it's a $75 class. So you're getting it for $10.
That's crazy. All right. Let's talk about, while I'm trying to get this, I don't know why it's going so slow and not letting me create this link. But while I'm getting this link up, you want to talk about the demonstration that you're going to do today? Because I just love this demonstration. I think it's beautiful.
Yep. I actually did a Periscope a couple nights ago and gave everybody a sneak peek of what was coming today. And I actually showed them the cake. I'll just turn around and grab it. So the funny thing is, I had a friend of mine who said, you do great flowers. I love your flowers, but honestly, I'll never buy your cutters or take one of your classes on video because I can't picture myself using them on a real cake. So from that, I decided, okay, each CakeFu that we're going to do now from the Poinsettia onwards is going to go on a cake. And so that way you can see what, a couple of ideas just for putting them on a cake. And the CSO at my office made a joke actually last week. She was walking by my desk and she says, "You're not decorating for Christmas this year." And I just looked at her and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, Well, last year you had that gorgeous cake for Christmas that stayed behind you for the month of December. And she was referring to my Marvelous Malts cake that had like the chocolate baubles and stuff on it. And people didn't believe those were chocolate, and that's why I brought it to the office. And Lazy didn't want to bring it home right away, so he left it at work until he was driving in. So I decided each year now it's going to become tradition to have a holiday cake for the office that everybody gets to look at but not eat because, well, nobody needs that much cake really, especially at work.
Right.
So this is the cake, and I was telling Amelia it is inspired by my mom's mom, who's not with us anymore. That's where I got the baking gene from. When I was in pastry school and we were working with buttercream and doing the roses, the instructor told me, "You're a natural at this. I can't believe you've never done it." And just, I guess, body memory from having my grandmother do them all the time. I have an aunt who did Wilton decorating, and every time my grandma would come in from out of town, she'd say to my grandma, "June, can you teach me how to do those roses because I just can't get them?" And so I just remember my grandma showing my aunt how to make buttercream roses, and from there I have all of her recipes. I use a lot of her recipes still. And so Christmas was her favorite time of year. It is the one time of year that I feel closest to her since her passing. And that would be because she'd always come in. She lived an hour and a half away. So she'd come in every year, a week, 2 weeks before Christmas. We'd do all of our holiday baking, her and my mom would be shopping. And so poinsettias were her favorite flower. And so that's where we'll start with top tier. I don't know how well you guys can see that. And then just, this is a sparkly tier because I'm all about the glitter these days and the bling. And it's got this really cool painting technique. And then this tier, I remember my grandmother always bringing in candy canes for the tree. And so no Christmas tree is complete in our family without the candy canes on them. So I went with this like candy cane inspired motif. It was a little naked, so I put a lace snowflake on it. And one of the awesome instructors that we have in the marketplace, Jared Alkmaar, posted a video on Facebook of somebody putting disco dust inside of their lace mat prior to the mix. And so I kind of like borrowed that idea and did it with the Sugar Art's newest disco dust, which is called Cosmic Dust. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's got a different grind to it, and it's actually got more sparkle to it. It just like reacts really well with the light. So I use that instead, and just you get these really sparkly snowflakes. And then on this tier is actually the project we're doing today. It's just a wreath with a deer inside of it. It's a plaque that's going to go onto the face of the cake. Or you can actually let it dry in gum paste and turn it into an ornament if you wanted to, which is how I'm going to be presenting it today as I work on it. And the reason for the glittery deer, my grandparents, even though my grandfather was not a hunter, they insisted on having animal heads in their living room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a little disturbing. I remember being like 12 or 13 and babysitting my cousin at my grandparents' house, and you always felt like the deer eyes were watching you. So this is like a little tribute to them and the deer that they had hanging. And then we just finished it and more lace and another poinsettia because you can never have enough sugar flowers on a cake.
Right. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it.
Oh, and yeah, everybody on Periscope is going crazy over it. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Okay, so before we get started, I have to mention we're doing some giveaways. I completely forget. Yeah. I'm really bad at the giveaway stuff, but we are doing some giveaways at the end. So we have a nice package of products that Mark has put together, valued at about $100, which is amazing.
$100.
You want to list what they are?
Yeah. In here, I'll unwrap it actually, because it's just like Christmas, right? It'll come to you guys wrapped up in an envelope. So the first thing we have are my magnolia leaf and petal cutters. And I use these in my magnolia video, which is available in the marketplace. all of my cutters are designed by me, and they're actually based on real flowers. So the people at the nursery, I was telling them what I was doing, and a magnolia tree is about $100 here. And we were buying one for my mom for Mother's Day this year. She really wanted one. But the people at the nursery just gave me offcuts that they have to cut anyway. So it was really cool that I wasn't destroying this tree this time. I was actually getting it, and they were going to destroy it anyway. The other thing that we're giving away is my monarch butterfly body mold and the wings. I make all of my butterflies lifelike looking. So the monarch is actually a two-piece set to get a more realistic looking butterfly, and you actually wire each wing portion. So there's like 4 wing portions that make up a butterfly, and that's actually going to be coming in the upcoming, believe it or not. I say a lot, I know, and I'm sorry.
You know what? There are so many things for it that I do. A while ago, I found that I was saying the word absolutely like every other sentence. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm like, oh, stop doing that. We all have our little things, so don't worry.
We do. In watching my DVD that came out last year, Timeless Wedding Flowers, a few friends noticed when they were doing the proof watching for me, I say by all means every other sentence pretty much. So they made it a drinking game apparently. Every time Mark says by all means, let's do a shot and see who gets drunk first. I have a lot of funny friends. So that is in the prize pack. You learn the rose, the ranunculus, the calla lily, and hydrangea. And I also do 2 different arrangements on cakes in there as well. And I was talking before about being fortunate in this industry, and I am fortunate to have some awesome companies that sponsor my career. One of those companies is the Sugar Art. They make the best colors on the market, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
And they don't pay me to say that. I just feel that way. They've just been phenomenal in sponsoring my classes, my videos, and my whole career. So to meet them in person at Orlando this year at Cake Fair and demo for them was just phenomenal. And one of the things that I've done is I've gone ahead and chosen 12 colors from their current line that I feel are the essential colors that every sugar artist needs to have to be able to do most flowers. And that's where you'll watch a video, you'll take a class, and you're like, oh, I wish I had those colors. And then you feel like you can't recreate it until you can get to a store and get to have somebody ship it to you. So these are those 12 colors that I feel every artist needs to have. And speaking of the Sugar Art, they sponsor color for all of my classes. And in my upcoming classes in Louisiana and Virginia at CakeFest and the NCACS, yes, the National Capital Area Cake Show. That's a confusing one. I'm teaching a new ranunculus called the Cafe au Lait ranunculus. And that is a ranunculus that I found a picture of in a local seed catalog. And I recreated it in sugar. And I had to custom blend their colors to get the shades that I wanted. So when I was talking to Ed at Cake Fair, he agreed that they're going to not only sponsor my class and send color for each student, but they are creating those custom colors for me as part of my new color line.
That's the best thing about Sugar Art. They are so good at doing that kind of stuff. That is so awesome. And congratulations, you have your own line.
Thank you.
That's great.
Well, it's a mini line. It's a couple of shades at first, and we'll see how it goes. But part of the thing is I want everybody to have access to those colors. And I feel bad for people that aren't in Canada right now because they cannot get exposure to, or they can't easily get Virgin Ice products. Virgin Ice is the company that sponsors me here for all of my fondant, my gum paste. And they sell gum paste pre-made, they sell fondant pre-made. And they've got like 15 or 16 different shades of fondant on the market. They are working to get a US distributor. So whoever wins today is going to also receive a package of Virgin Ice's dried gum paste mix. And I actually have a YouTube video for free on my page. My flower paste, I don't use their recipe. I've modified it a bit to get the texture that I want. And it's a phenomenal product, and I use it in all of my classes. I ship it to the US when I have to teach down there, because it is the only brand of gum paste I feel most confident with. And same thing with their fondant. Their fondant was made, their fondant's covering all of my cakes that you see behind me. So
Awesome.
they're just a great company, and I wish them all the best when
Well,
they get to launch in the States, and then you guys get to play with their product as well.
Yeah, I kind of hope that
someone
in the States wins so that they can have a chance to try it out. That'd be great.
Me too. Somebody actually had me mule down 3 packages of it when I went down to Orlando. They were taking my class, and they're like, I really want to try it. Bring me 3 packs. So it's kind of suspicious when you're telling a customs officer you have gum paste mixed in your suitcase, and it's in a white bag and it's a white powder. But I mean, they were cool with it. Canada Customs had no questions about it.
That's good.
When they checked my baggage, so I guess they were okay.
That's good.
Canada Customs knows cake decorating, apparently. My dad was bringing back fondant when I wasn't using virgin ice. He would stop at Global Sugar Art because it's right across the border and on their way to the cottage, and he was bringing back 20-pound tubs of satin ice for me. And so when the officer coming home says, oh yeah, I got 20 pounds of fondant in my trunk, and the guy's like, oh, you make cakes? And he's like, no, my kid does. And they had a whole conversation about cake decorating, and I never would have thought my dad knew that much about cake decorating. But
nice.
He pays attention when I talk. It's awesome.
That's good. That's good. All right, so let's go ahead and start on the demonstration and show everybody what you have to share.
Aren't we giving away a free class as well?
Yes. Oh, yes, we are. We're giving away one of the classes for free. And we'll do that all at the end, so make sure that you stay tuned to the end, and we'll do all of that towards the end. So, and the class is amazing, so definitely stay tuned for that too.
That one is fun. Like I said, I love making poinsettias, so it was really a lot of fun to do, and I was just glad that I got those new centers in there.
And this demonstration goes perfect with the poinsettia too, so.
It does, and it's like we were saying, it's such a hot item this year. Like, I don't know what it is with animal heads lately, but like
especially
even my sister-in-law is addicted to them. Her birthday was 2 weeks ago, and when we were down in the States, Target went bankrupt in Canada, believe it or not. So we have to get our Target fixed by crossing the border, which is like a half-hour drive for us. So it's not that bad. So this summer we were in Target, and we know my sister-in-law so well. They had this huge bull's head that was like a wicker woven thing, and they had a deer head version, but they didn't have it in the store. And we bought it. About 5 weeks after, 6 weeks after, she texts my wife a picture, and she says, "Look at what Target has on Pinterest." And it was like those 2 animal heads, and we were laughing to ourselves. So when she opened it last week or 2 weeks ago, she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh, you went and bought it?" We're like, "We bought it already. We know you that well." But yeah, animal heads are everywhere, and I really don't know why. It's just one of those hot trends, and I was trying to think how I could incorporate that into a cake design. Like I said, I was inspired by the animal heads hanging in my grandparents' living room when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, oh, I've seen this really pretty card with a wreath, and it had the word joy in the middle. And I said, oh, what if I swap out joy for an animal head? So I was going to Google, and Google is the best search engine ever. You do a Google search, you can find anything. So I just typed in deer head silhouette, and I got a whole bunch of hits, and one of them was actually for golden glitter deer heads. And so I was like, oh, I really like that. I was just going to do like a black silhouette type thing inside of the wreath, and then I saw the gold. I'm like, okay, let's take it up a notch. We have gold accents on the cake. Let's throw some gold disco dust in there. Who doesn't love gold disco dust, right? Mm-hmm. I said I'm the only guy who can go out with his buddies and come home with glitter on him and not have his wife question it.
That's funny.
But she does question why there's like glitter all over the kitchen all the time. Yeah. So are we ready to get started?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, I'm distracted. Our little squirrel friend just showed up at the back door.
Oh, that's
She
fun.
tends to know when we're home, and she likes to come torment the cat. So if we hear hissing, we know why. But she comes right up to our back door. You can tell when she's had her babies and when she's nursing.
Well, while Mark is getting that set up, for those of you that are watching, I apologize, our chat is not working today. I don't know why. I do see some comments down below. If you do have something you want to share with us or ask, you can go ahead and ask questions down in the comments section below the video, and that's where you can communicate with us. And I'll keep refreshing that. And I apologize that that's not working. I don't know why the chat's not working today, but it's not. And we'll work out the giveaway somewhere else. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Can you guys see okay, or is there a glare on the work surface?
Nope, we can see just great.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start with, I'm not going to bore you guys with rolling out fondant and cutting out shapes. I think everybody knows how to do that. What I have here is just a piece of patty paper. I buy these by like the millions. It's super cheap at a catering supply store. And I've traced on it an oval, just from my oval cookie cutter. And that's just so that once I cut out my deer head, and like I said, go to Google and choose any motif that you want. Just type in deer head silhouette, or if you want to choose another animal, or even, I was thinking like a Santa sleigh with reindeer, even though that would be really intricate, unless somebody has a Cricut and they could do it. I just cut it out. I roll out my fondant in gold. I'm going to address that in a second, actually. Address it now. So here's one I've got pre-cut, and I place it inside the oval, and I can see that it's a little too big, that I know once my polys are going to go around it. So all I'm going to do is pull it down to where I'm happy with it. I take my handy X-Acto knife and just cut that curve so that it's going to fit perfect in the bottom of my plaque. And to get gold fondant, one of the great things about working with a fondant manufacturer is they are open to suggestions, and they want to know what their decorators want. So one of the colors I was on them for in the spring was navy blue, and lo and behold, we got navy blue recently. One of their customers here in Canada was asking for it as well, so it was a nice push, and it's a gorgeous shade. But I did tell them one of the things that annoys me the most is when I'm trying to paint on fondant, and it's a whole gold tier or a whole silver tier. It takes a lot of product to get a nice finished result. So I've been color mixing my own, which is just using their ivory with some golden yellow and some brown. But they're in the process right now of actually figuring out a fondant base of gold and a fondant base of silver. So when we want to paint whole tiers or glitter a whole tier, it'll be a lot easier, and you won't have to color it yourself. So we are working on that. So this is hand-colored gold. I've just rolled it out to about a number 2 on a pasta machine, which is fairly thick still, but it's easier to work with. And when I'm cutting out by hand, I like to let it crust over a little bit. So I use fondant for that reason, so that it doesn't dry super fast. And this is pretty dry. It's been sitting here for about an hour. I cut it out for about an hour ago. And we're going to go ahead and get him all glittered up first. So I just got some gum glue, which is just some gum paste in some hot water. And I'm just going to paint the entire thing in a nice, thin, even coating of the glue. And I recommend using gum glue, or you can like water down clear corn syrup, or piping gel even watered down makes a good glue. You don't want to just use water. I think it would not have glitter adhere to it too well. Throw my brushes back. And you don't need, it's going to look like there's a lot of glitter on it, But in reality, you're going to pour most of it back into the jar when you're done. Because I use it in class, Sugar Art sends me these huge jars of glitter.
Mm-hmm. I know that there's a lot of controversy right now about disco dusts being not non-edible. But I think that this is such a small project, and as long as you let your customer know that, you know,
Exactly.
that little spot on there is, you know, technically not an edible product, then I think that you'd be okay. So,
it's non-toxic, which means if you do ingest it, it's not going to kill you. I always tell my customers anything that has disco dust on it, remove it from the cake. That yes, it is technically edible, but don't eat it. And I just saw something on Pinterest the other day where somebody you can buy now clear pill capsules that are gelatin made and fill them with whatever you want. So people were filling them with disco dust and selling glitter pills.
oh.
And I'm just like, seriously? Anything to make a buck, right?
Right.
Yeah. Tell your customers, take disco dust items off your cake. And I try and put disco dust items on a barrier. So we're putting it on a plaque, so it's not even going to be touching our cake. And it's the same thing, we're going to be using gold highlighter later too. Anything that's gold or silver, I tell them. So all I did was shake off the excess. And we're just going to put our leftovers back in. So that's the nice thing about working on pieces of parchment or patty paper, is all the excess can go back into the container and you don't have any waste. Because let's face it, cake decorating is an expensive hobby. One of these little jars of disco dust here in a local store sells for $11.99.
Wow.
Which is insane. When you can buy it from the Sugar Arts website directly for like $5. But by the time they pay shipping and duties and taxes and exchange, so there we have our lovely gold deer head. And I've gone ahead and pre-cut using an oval cutter, a fondant oval, and it's going on a cake. I would be doing this part fresh so that it would mold to the shape of the cake easier. But I'm saying we're going to be making an ornament out of it. Eventually, we're going to let it dry till it's 100% hard. So I'm working on just a flat surface today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to flip our lovely deer over. Take my brush with my gum glue again. And just give him a nice even coating on the back. You don't want it to be too wet because that's going to cause it to slide and slip all over the place. The wetter your project is, the more slippage you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
So people always think more is better. When you're using gum glue, less is more.
Absolutely. Especially if you're sticking on the side of something, it's just going to slide down your cake.
Yep. And I just broke his antler, but that's okay.
Well, and the great thing about the glitter is it'll hide that little...
Exactly. And I mean, if worst case scenario we weren't using glitter and we had to hide it, we could just stick a bow or something there, something decorative there. So it doesn't want to stick, so it just goes in. I love using surgical scalpels for everything. They cut super well. They're cheap on Amazon, and they got that really fine point that you can lift things up very easily. There you go. We're going to leave it like that. We're not going to play with it anymore. Yeah. We're going to play with it. So the next thing we want to do, I'm just going to move him out of the way for now, is we want to make our holly. And you can use an individual holly cutter if you wanted to and cut out all of your holly leaves. Or you can use a product called a click stick. I don't know how familiar people are with click sticks. In the US, they're from the UK, and they work in the same vein as a tappet, except they're spring-loaded. So you've got your shape. This is a 3-piece poly. I don't know how well you guys can see it because they're clear. And it's got the embossing on it, so it's like the plunger cutters mixed in with the tappet. But on the back, it's got like a spring inside. So you can actually press it down. So when you put it on your gum paste or your fondant, press down, cut your shape. And they come in so many different fonts of letters and numbers. There's a Gothic one. There's one that's called Groovy, which looks like it belongs in an Austin Powers movie. So they're awesome.
Now, what are those called again?
These are called click sticks.
Click sticks.
I know here, yeah, click sticks. They're by Windsor Cake Craft. I know here in Canada, we get them online at Icing Inspiration, and they do ship worldwide. So,
okay.
Press down, and sometimes they do free shipping Tuesdays. Join the newsletter, I'm pretty sure you do that. And of course, it's going to want to stick today because I did not have the foresight to. What? So normally you would, and just dust this lightly, give me a second. I have some free cut already for the project, so I just want to show everybody how great these are. So just
there's Mark. There's a light directly over you.
That's, there is, right?
Yeah, that's
so let me
really
turn it off.
bright.
Oh,
yeah,
actually.
kind of hard to see.
Is that better?
That's much better. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Wasn't sure. So we're just going to press down again, wiggle, and then I usually run my rolling pin or my finger over it, like so.
Mm-hmm.
Peel off the extra, and then all of your shapes, all of your letters are going to stick inside. So whereas like with a tappet, you have to like whack it against your countertop or your tabletop to get everything out or destroy them with a pin. All you do is flip it over, press on the back, and they plop right out.
How cool is that?
And you can see, I don't know how well you can see, that they're all embossed and engraved.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
They're really, really cool. And they come in snowflakes, they come in hollies, letters, fashion. So many different fonts. Discussing how much money I've spent on them. Oh, I've got the perfect project for that. But you can't buy just like uppercase, you have to buy the lowercase to go with them.
Uh-huh.
So I've got a tray full of them here. We will bring our Dolly deer back in. And I'm starting with the larger ones. The hollies come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So I'm going to put all of my large ones at the bottom. So just a little dab of glue on the back. Position it. And I'm just working from side to side. So I'll go to the left and then I'll go to the right, overlapping them slightly.
I do have someone that just asked, did you use fondant or gum paste?
This is actually fondant that I've let dry for a few minutes. But you could use gum paste, you could use 50-50, modeling chocolate, fondant, straight out, like that. They all work.
Perfect. And it's hard to see the white plaque on that white board. Are you just going around the outside of the plaque?
I am going around the outside, but that's a good point. I meant to do that.
There you go.
Which is the reason why I actually took these boards out. So I'm just going up and I'm building my wreath shape. And as I move up, I'm decreasing the size. So I'm now into the medium size polys. And you could stop like right here if you want to do a horseshoe wreath.
Because those are very current and trendy too.
Exactly. But I want to go whole hog on this one, just like we did on the cake. So moving to the small guys now. Just press them down so they stick. Everything stick. I'm not going to worry too much about finishing it off at the top, because we do have a bow that's going to go on there in a second. We've got our deer and our wreath all done. Now, before I share my board, we're going to paint this in gold. So the Sugar Art has highlighter that's metallic. In gold and silver, you can use any brand gold and silver highlighter that you want. And I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of confectioner's glaze. You can mix it with alcohol or high proof clear extract or Everclear. We don't have Everclear here. So the most we can get is like a high proof vodka.
Okay.
I'm just adding enough to make it have the consistency of thick cream. So like a whipping cream consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like using, why I like using confectioner's glaze is once it dries, that dust is not going to go anywhere. I find sometimes when people use alcohol or extract to paint with, if you touch the piece to put it on your cake afterwards, it actually ends up coming off on your fingers and you get smudge marks you have to retouch. I find you don't have to do that as much with the glaze.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I'm not worried about ruining my brush because I'm just going to clean my brush and glaze thinner when it's all done.
Yeah, the glaze can be a little bit difficult to clean up. Is there a
Yeah.
tip that you have for that, or just?
So I know when you guys had Robert Haynes on,
Mm-hmm.
in his demo, he talked about what he calls laundry powder. So everybody's seen my big fat Greek wedding, and your dad net says Windex is the cure-all for cleaners. It's not. It's dry laundry detergent. Just go and get like powdered Tide or something. I keep a jar of it next to my sink actually, and if I get glaze on my hands or on my countertop, right away I throw some water on it with the laundry detergent, and it washes it right off. Robert gave me the idea because he uses it to wash his hands when he gets dusting powder all over it.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I mean that's just, again, it's a tip that I never would have got unless I watched his CakeFu,
Awesome.
or if I didn't take a class with him, which is where I first learned it was in class.
Awesome.
So I'm going through. I'm very lightly painting these because they're already gold to begin with in color.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need as much.
Can I ask you another question about the confectioner's glaze?
Yeah.
Once you can combine the confectioner's glaze and the powder, does that will that be usable again at any point, or once it's dry, it's gone?
So again, another trick that I learned from taking a class, this was from a fellow student. She learned that confectioner's glaze is so high in alcohol content, because it is a form of alcohol, that it never freezes. So what she does is she'll take her little container like this, wrap it in a piece of saran wrap, and then a piece of aluminum foil, mark it that it's gold, and shoot it in her freezer.
Oh.
And then when she's ready to use it again, she just takes it out, lets it come back to room temperature, and it's paintable.
Perfect. That's wonderful, because I was thinking, oh, now all of that's gonna just harden and go to waste.
Yeah.
So clever.
Waste not, want not. Even same thing when I'm mixing custom colors for sugar flowers. I actually mix enough that if I had to go back and make extras just in case, I'm not going to run out. I just store them in like tiny makeup jars that you get at the dollar store. That way you're not wasting all that extra color that you can use. Because there's nothing worse than waste. Even my fondant, you know when you cover a cake and you've got those offcuts.
Mm-hmm.
I actually take those offcuts and I keep them in a baggie, and I use them when I'm covering my cake boards.
Oh, that's smart too. Yeah,
You
well,
have like that extra fondant, and mostly like cake boards, you're gonna decorate them anyway. So I either put disco dust on them or crystal sugar,
mm-hmm.
the larger glittery type sugar, or I'll paint it. So if I'm doing like a wood board, I really don't care what color fondant it is because it's gonna be brown in the end anyway.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing this for a business, especially, you know,
Yeah,
the less waste you can create, the more income you're getting.
generating exactly, and it's all about making money. And I'm the administrator and sponsor coordinator for the Canadian Cake Decorators Guild, which is a group of cake artists that meet monthly across Canada. Every month we have different topics, usually centered around sponsors. So we've done fondant testing for some companies. In the new year, we've got a few companies that want us to try out their new product for them. And one of the things I always tell my group when they come to the meeting each month, we always end up talking pricing. And I always tell them, even if you're just starting out, your time is valuable. Your time is money, and you
Mm-hmm.
really need to be charging for your work. And I see people doing some really beautiful cakes, and then you find out they charge 25 bucks for something that took them 5 hours to decorate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you covered your costs, and that's it. It's really.
Definitely.
I'm just going to go through making a bow real quick, because maybe not everybody knows how. So I've got some pre-rolled fondant. This is, I'm all about color, and I love the fact that color is the year. And I would love, I've told Ed at Sugar Art, if each year when Pantone comes out with their color of the year, let's do a limited run, because you know what? My brides are going to be saying, oh, this year, color of the year was Merlot, I believe was the color. So it's that deep burgundy wine color. And I'm going to have to color blend everything just to be able to make that color. So that what I did with my fondant for the candy canes here is I wanted that offset of just red and white, so I included pink and the Merlot. All I did was take 20 ounces of my red fondant and I added 1 ounce of black fondant to it. And it was the perfect, it's 20-to-1 ratio, and it comes out in, I don't know how well the computer picks it up, but it's that deep burgundy wine color, and it was effortless to get.
Nice. That's the hardest color to get, really.
It is. This was so easy to do. I was like loving it.
So just some red and black mixed.
Red and black mix. It's a 20-to-1 ratio, and it gives you the perfect shade of burgundy.
Amazing.
Yeah, for love.
Love it.
So I've got 2 strips. I'm just going to take them and fold them into a W at each end, or an M. If you're looking at it upside down, which you probably are. And it's still tacky on the underside, so I'm just going to press it in. Repeat with this one.
For those of you that are interested in the giveaway, we're going to do something different. Clearly the chat box is not working, so we have to do something different today. We are going to have you send an email to me, and I know that we've done that in the past. In fact, more recently we've done that. It seems to be the best way to work things out. So here, I'll click over on me right now. This is a link to access Mark's Poinsettia class, cakefu.com /poinsettia-mark. I realized the problem I was having was I already had that link used somewhere. I don't know. So anyway, /poinsettia-mark. And that's how the fastest way to access his class. And again, for the next, we'll say 48 hours, we will have this class available to you at a 50% off discount, which is wonderful and amazing. And you probably won't see this this low price hardly ever again. It will be rare. So, so make sure that you take advantage of that. And then for the giveaway, I'll put it back on Mark for a minute, and I'll write down my email address here.
So all I've done is I finished off my bow. I've got my tails. I'm using gum paste right now, so it'll dry up better. I'm just shaping them so they have a little bit of movement. I'll let them dry slightly. And thanks to the magic of TV, as they say, I have bow and tails pre-made. Made them about an hour ago, so they are still a little pliable. Taking my gum glue again, saturating it. Not saturating, you know what I mean. Just getting it all covered.
Covering it all, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then here's the email address, amelia@cakefu.com. And what I'm going to have you email to me is, let's see, let's do something that has to do with the training. How about...
what ratio of red to black do I use to get my burgundy?
There you go, perfect question. What ratio of red to black did Mark use to get his perfect, awesome burgundy colored fondant?
And the answer again, guys, 20-1.
All right. So go ahead and email that to me. And then Mark, I'll have you pick a number. Let's go. Let's say 1 through 10.
1 through 10, let's go with 6.
6, okay. So the 6th email to get into my my mailbox with the right answer is going to win. Should we do both of them together or separately?
Let's do them separate.
Let's do separate. Okay, so then pick another number 1 through 10.
Go with 9.
9. Okay, so the first person or the 6th person that sends me the email will get the class giveaway or the tutorial giveaway for his poinsettia training tutorial, I suppose. And then the 9th email will win the prize package that Mark explained to us and showed to us earlier with all those awesome goodies valued at $100. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start sending those emails, and we'll let Mark finish this up for us.
So I've just gone now, I've painted up glued up my bow components, sprinkled them with the cosmic dust. So this is cosmic dust in Red Planet by the Sugar Art. I don't know how well we're going to see it because computers are wonky, but I do have, compared to the red disco dust, you can see the tinier container sparkles a bit more.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's because of the grain that they have in it, and there's like a different type of particle. Ed got very technical when he explained it to me, but we tried it.
He does get very technical.
He does. I love him to death. But he got technical. But Holly loves Beauty and the Beast, his wife. And so one of the classes I taught last spring was shoes inspired by fairy tales, including a shoe inspired by Belle. So when they found out that we were all going to be at Cake Fair together, Holly insisted, because she is the boss, not the boss's wife, that I do that shoe. So I demoed the shoe, but we did the bow and the top of the shoe in the white cosmic dust. And just the pictures and seeing it live, it was amazing. Just the effect that it had was so much better than plain disco dust. So we're going to build, turn it around so you guys can see, our bow now.
We do have quite a few questions really fast on the click sticks.
Yeah. Go for it.
Number 1, how do you spell click stick? And number 2,
I think it's okay. So click sticks is CLIK, STIX, I believe. And I get mine from Icing Inspirations, which is icinginspirations.ca is the email address, I believe. I can email Emilia with the links,
Okay,
maybe,
perfect.
and then she can put them up on the CakeFu site.
That's
Does that
perfect.
work?
I can put them up. I can put them up here on the training page, and I can actually email them out because I'll be sending a reminder and
Perfect.
all that. So that's perfect.
Yeah, Icing Inspirations, it's always dangerous when I get their newsletter every week of what I'm going to carry, of what I'm going to purchase. And when I go there for a class, it's even worse. I have to budget to know what I'm going. Normally, because they're so far, they're like a 7-hour drive. I try and fly or take the train. But lately I've been driving, and it's been even more dangerous because it's like, oh, I can fit more in my car. So definitely one of the more fun places to shop. And there we have our finished plaque.
Awesome. It is so pretty. I love it. I love it. Love it. Can you
And I
hold that
really
up
think I'm
one
going to
more
let
time?
it dry. Yeah, I'm going to let this one dry, and I think I'm just going to like hot glue a ribbon to the back and hang it on the tree this year.
Oh, that's a good idea. For years I've been thinking I'm going to make an all edible ornament Christmas tree, and then I don't do it. One of these years.
Last year I made macaroon ornaments out of Sculpey.
Oh,
Just
cool.
because I thought they were really cool. And I sent them to my friend Chrissy and her family as their Christmas present. And I kept one on my tree. And my niece, who is 9 years old, recently discovered macaroons. We were at the family's cottage, and I had brought them for a potluck. I did caramel apple ones. And my mom and I went back to into the cottage to grab something before joining everybody else at the tennis court. And my niece was in there watching TV. And I said to my mom, oh, did you try one yet? And she's like, no. So I took a macaroon, I gave it to my mom. She put on the counter, turned around and do something, turned around, and there was a big bite out of it. And my niece is killing herself laughing. She's like, Nana, I ate your cookie. So my mom's like, well, Sarah, I'm sure Uncle Mark would give you one of your own. I already had 4. And everybody out there knows if you've made a macaroon, you know how time-consuming they are. She calls weekly, or I'll send my sister to work. My sister works in the office with me. She'll send her to work with a message saying, hey, Mom, tell Uncle Mark I want Max.
That's
And
cute.
Uncle Mark is
There's
for macaroons.
There's your next CakeFu tutorial for the marketplace.
Hey, would you guys want to bake them?
I think that would be awesome.
You know what? I think that's doable.
I think that would be
That's
great.
really doable. Then we can talk like flavor combinations and stuff. And
heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, then I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone because somebody's got to eat those macaroons, and it ain't going to be me.
Perfect. All right, we do have our winners. We have so many people sending in emails, and
oh, awesome.
Yeah, which is great because I haven't been able to see how many people gauge at all, how many people have been on because our chat is not working. So it's nice to see that you guys are out there and watching. So yeah, yay. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Okay, so we have our winners. The winner of the class is, I have that starred. Hang on a second. I started, it disappeared. Nancy Collard. So congratulations, Nancy.
Congratulations, Nancy.
We will be sending you the access information to that class. And the winner of the package, and I know that I'm pretty sure that she's won something before. So we've got a lucky winner here. But the winner is Dee Thompson. So congratulations, Dee.
Congratulations, Dee. So Amelia, I'll need Dee's address to get that out to her.
All right. I will be contacting you, Dee, about getting your address so that we can get that sent out to you. Thank you, Mark, for coming on and showing us this demonstration. I love the, trendy, current, awesome, and getting to see some cool new tools that I haven't seen yet. So that's great.
Thank you for having me. It's really, like I said before we started, I was super nervous for this. I've been in magazines and it's nothing. You have to ask you a question, you have time to finagle how you're going to answer it.
Put you
And
on the
people on
spot.
Periscope were threatening. People on Periscope were actually threatening the other night to really run me through the ringer. So I'm a little happy chatting for it. They didn't get their way.
Well, good.
And if you're wondering, I'm wearing jeans.
Oh, yeah.
We had a conversation. I was saying for the guild, a sponsor had done a video for us once. And he was at waist level behind the table. And it got back to me that one of the chapters, all the women could keep talking about was, well, do you think he was wearing pants or not? Because they thought they saw him underneath. So I was like, it could have been shorts, guys. Like, they were sure they saw bare legs. So the running joke with the guild has always been, if you see me in a video, don't ask. But yeah, so everybody's like, we want you to wear no jeans, no pants, no pants, no pants. Wear pajamas or something. My best friend who lives in the UK actually sent me my Christmas present. I'm a huge Batman fanatic, and so he sent me a Batman onesie.
Nice.
So we were on WhatsApp the other day, and he found out that I was doing this. He's like, "So you're wearing the onesie, right?" And I was like, "No, not happening."
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, we did have one more question before we go. Someone was asking, let me pull it up here. They must have missed it, but what did you use to cut out the deer?
I hand cut it. So I did a Google search for images on deer silhouettes, and I just picked one that I liked the most. So, I mean, I fit it into an oval. That's the size that I sized it for. But nobody says that you have to stick to an oval wreath. You could do like an elliptical shape. So if you want to do like a standing deer, if you were that patient to cut out the silhouette of a standing deer, by all means, everybody take a shot, go for it. And then just make a more elliptical shape wreath. And maybe put your bow at the bottom instead of the top.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. All right, so Google search, print it out.
Google search, my best friend.
Yep. And then just an X-Acto knife or a scalpel? Or...
X-Acto knife, I use a surgical scalpel just because it's a number 11 blade. It's thinner. I find I have better control with it. And when I'm working with cutting out something like a silhouette, like I said, fondant or a 50-50 mix so it doesn't dry too fast, rolled out to a number 2 to a 3 maybe. It's perfect. Let it dry a little bit on the top side and make sure it's starched underneath, and you'll be able to cut really easy. And always use a new blade when you're cutting something that that way no sugar is already, even though it looks clean, there could be sugar on the blade that you can't see, and it will cause tears. So new blade.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Mark, and thank you guys for coming and watching. And again, take advantage of that sale. I'll pull it up one more time. CakeFu.com/poinsettia-mark. Or you can just go to the CakeFu marketplace and find it there, along with all the other great tutorials. So, but that one is on sale, 50% off right now. It will be for the next 48 hours. So definitely take advantage. And I don't mind, if you share the information with your friends so that they can take advantage of the sale also. That would be great too. So
yeah, definitely. I'll be sharing with my friends.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you again. Bye.
Hey.